Alright, what's up now, y'all? It's me, Nate Almighty, and I'm back with another Raising Kanan Season 4 Theory and Prediction. This one right here is for all the marbles. This one right here, y'all, we got to get our Kleenex ready. Because this is going to be the absolute darkest theory in regards to Famous's death that you're going to get on the internet. Now, this theory involves Stefano, Marvin, and his sister Jessica, as well as Famous, who we already got here, okay? And the topic of this theory, Famous gets dismembered by Marvin and disappeared. Also, along with this theory, I'm going to suggest that Marvin mistakenly dismembers Famous, thinking he ratted. And why I'm saying thinking he ratted is the reason why I'm involving his sister Jessica, okay? I'm going to make it all make sense. This theory is extremely dark. Also, the inspiration for this theory came from this person right here. I'm giving him his credit. Now, when he said this, initially it didn't make any sense. But then when I thought about what we seen in episode 1, and then when I think about how Marvin is obviously going to be on one, and he's going to be more violent in season 4 than he has been over the last 2 seasons, everything started to connect together. This is a theory you're not going to want to miss. Go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe. This video is another banger. We might as well hold the eulogy for Famous right now, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe, like I said. Without further ado, let's get to it. Alright now, people. Let's break it down like this. Now, we all seen Jessica in episode 1, right? Although it's a flashback, when she spoke to Lou, let's keep something in mind. She been in LA for some time. Let's just assume she's been successful because it sounds like she's been successful. And because we can assume that she's been successful, we can also assume that she's been making some money. And if we assume she's been successful and been making some money, then we could also pretty much know that even if she went home after speaking to Lou, or rather, even if she went back to LA after speaking with Lou, if she got the call from Famous's mother, right? And she tells her, hey, Sean got locked up for murder. You better believe Jessica is going to get her ass on the next flight smoking back to New York. And let's assume, right, that she had enough money to pay his bail. Now, hold that thought. After we discuss the Jessica thing, and we're going to rope all of this back in, right? Now we talk about Marvin in episode 1. Marvin does the job for Stefano, right? Stefano and Marvin are speaking after he did what he did to Tommaso. Stefano mentions to Marvin something about dismembering a body. I want y'all to just keep that in mind, okay? Now, y'all know the picture we got. The picture that looks like it's a light-skinned Puerto Rican ear with Famous's afro. And then there's somebody with a silencer and a gun to the back of Famous, right? Now, we also know that it appears that there's a light-skinned hand holding that gun, and then there's a ring. Now, this ring appears to be Marvin's ring. So, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to assume that at the very least, Marvin possibly is the person putting the gun to Famous. And now let's continue. You got Famous. Famous is outside in the dark. Marvin runs into Famous. And here's where the theory and everything can make sense. And I'm going to connect it all for you, right? Let's say Famous has his bail, while Kanan or whoever's probably trying to make his bail. You got Rock worried about Famous being locked up. So by the time Marvin runs into Famous, right? They already had the conversation. Rock possibly says, hey, I don't know about Famous. Famous might have to go. Next thing you know, Famous is outside. Marvin wonders, why the hell is Famous outside? Why didn't he come talk to Kanan? Why don't we know what's going on? And then you re-enter Famous's sister, who probably would have paid his bail and then spoke to Famous and would say something like this, right? Lou definitely killed Crown. Lou is crashing out. The streets is dangerous, okay? We knew what was happening in season 1. I mean, she's not going to say we knew what was happening in season 1. She's going to say, we knew what was happening a while ago when they was going to war with Unique and them and all of that. Then I heard Unique is dead. She would likely say, I bailed you out. You could come back for court or whatever. Pack all your stuff. I'm taking you to LA. This is mandatory. Don't even say nothing to nobody. Because when you think about it, right? And I'm going to get to the dismembering part and I'm going to get to the Stefano part. But when you think about it, Famous was kind of already on his way to LA before he got locked up. He was resenting catching the body with Freddie. He was already questioning about that body. Okay? He just wanted the rap. He's on the verge of getting a record deal. His sister already was, getting in tune with that, getting involved in the industry and stuff. It's not far-fetched to say that Jessica would say, hey, don't talk to the Thomases. We can't trust them. They're dangerous. Just pack your stuff. We're going to leave. However, for whatever reason, Marvin could have been outside after he already spoke with Rock. We know how Marvin feels. And this is why I'm bringing up the point what I said earlier. Marvin mistakenly kills and dismembers Famous, assuming he snitched. Because here's the thing, right? His bail's going to be kind of high. So by the time Marvin sees Famous outside, possibly with bags in his hand, possibly running into a chick or something like that, right? Possibly. He is going to remember what he went through with Gerald. He hates rats. So now you got a situation where Marvin runs up on Famous, puts the gun to his back, and then he will probably say something like, get in the car, nigga. Let's have a talk. Now enter Stefano, right? Or there could be no Stefano yet. Marvin takes Famous somewhere, right? He talking to Famous. He like, yo, so what's going on with such and such? Yo, how you get out here? You snitching? Famous, of course, because he's not a rat. He gonna be like, no, I ain't snitching. But you know he gonna look shaky. And then in the middle of this conversation, Marvin is gonna be having a conversation with Famous. Famous is gonna fuck up. He's gonna say something that lets Marvin know that he knows too much. Whether in the middle of the conversation, he is told that Malcolm Howard is dead. Maybe he didn't know for sure that Malcolm Howard was Kanan's father. And then maybe he says, so that's what MH meant on the paternity test? That right there. If Marvin is dead serious about trying to prevent a rat, Marvin right there might be like, yo, you know too much, nigga, already. Then you got all this other stuff that Famous knows about. And then Famous tells Marvin, yo, my sister paid my bail. We don't know if Marvin's gonna listen to that, right? He could already be upset about something going on. So anyways, he kills Famous. Now after he kills Famous, right? He probably called Rock. Rock might have sanctioned it. But it'd be even more tragic if Marvin just jumped out the window and thought he was protecting the family, right? So after he kills Famous, he decides, okay, nobody can find this body, right? Maybe by this point he already figured out that Demo was snitching, because there's going to be other rats involved that's going to have to die. But he decides, okay, I'm going to listen to Stefano. I'm going to dismember the body. So he chops up Famous's body. And even if he didn't chop up his body and get rid of the evidence, He takes Famous' dead body to Stefano and says, yo, I gotta get rid of this. Now, how is Stefano gonna be able to get rid of a body? Using the damn furnace. Famous goes in Stefano's furnace. Now, this is very, 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 very bad, okay? Very bad. Famous gonna be dead. Whether Rock sanctioned it or not, when she hears that Famous is dead, she's gonna say Kanan can't know about this. Kanan cannot know about this, right? So, Famous goes in the furnace. Marvin keeps the story. Famous just disappears. Kanan never got the chance to talk to him. Kanan ends up naming his son after Sean. He probably is going to find out what happened to Sean before the baby is born, right? But Famous never had no last words with him. It's going to come to be found out that Famous did not rat. And it's just going to be a very, very, very tragic situation. And now we can discuss the ramifications of this situation, where it relates to a theory that I dropped the other day where I said Kanan fights Jukebox after he finds out that Jukebox was holding the secret of Marvin killing Famous. When you think about it, right? When you involve Jessica, and we understand how Big Sister's going to be, right? When you think about the fact that there has not been any major post from the actor who plays Famous. There's pretty much no Famous at all in the teaser trailers, in the pictures at all. That has to mean something extremely big is going to happen with Famous. If Famous was just gonna it could be something that's more tragic than Freddy's crew killing Famous. It could be a grand Thomas family conspiracy, man. And then when you think about it all, right? When you think about it all, and you involve Unique coming into the picture, and then you still got Stefano over here and Phil Russo. You know what? I'm going to dedicate what I was just about to say to an entire video. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Can't teach that shit, nigga. Come on. That's gotta get that. That's touch my ink. That's on the dome, nigga.